Hi, it's October 28th, and I'm 11 months on testosterone and 6 months post-op, I think. I'm really bad at time math. But, so I realize I haven't been super great about recording my transition. As I'm getting close to my year on T, I've been looking at my videos, and there's a cluster of videos early on in my transition of me talking about what's going on with my body and my mind and my emotions and how I look and my voice and everything. And then it sort of tapers off around 6 months when I guess I lost interest in recording my transition. On top of that, my computer died over the summer, and I lost the majority of the videos that I recorded regarding my transition. I do have some on my mom's computer, or really the family laptop, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to scrounge up enough for satisfying and really good when you're on T montage, but we'll see. I do have a lot of pictures. Anyway, so the major thing in my life right now, as I think I've mentioned before, is I'm currently applying to graduate school. Um, I'm applying to PhD programs in sociology, mostly in the Midwest. It's really funny because a lot of people have been saying, "So, where are you going to grad school?" And that's such a stressful question right now, and kind of awkward because it's like, well, wherever will take me. I wish that I could say, yeah, I'm going to my first choice, or I'm definitely going to one of these three, but I'm applying to 6 schools, so it kind of gets to be uh, quite a list, when people ask. But other than that, I'm a senior. I've obviously mentioned that before, but I'm doing seniory things, and uh, yeah. But as far as my transition goes, I have been kind of dealing with this whole. I'm almost a year on testosterone. Am I really happy with the changes? And I don't mean that as like, oh man, do I wish I didn't have these changes, but am I really happy with the fact that most of the major changes are done, and how am I going to deal with the fact that I'm going to be perpetually in transition? Because I think a lot of trans guys will watch these videos and up to a year have the year montage, and it's like the transition is over. But of course, it isn't. You're transitioning your whole life. And kind of coming to terms with that, because the closer I get to the year mark, the closer I am to sort of realizing that it's not, yeah, I'll celebrate my 1 year marker and now I don't have to think about it anymore. It's like I'm perpetually going through this. And I don't know, I'm not super articulate on videos in writing, so it's kind of hard to communicate, but I've been thinking things like, wow, this is just, I am the equivalent of what, like a 15-year-old in terms of puberty levels. Um, there's the bulk of puberty happens between the ages of like, I don't really know. I'm guessing from like 13 to 15 or something, 13 to 16. Major changes happen, but obviously so many changes happen after that. Think of the difference between a 16 or 17-year-old and 21 or 22-year-old. There's something that happens, it's just not as visible, and so obviously things will continue to happen. But I do sometimes look at myself and I'm like, I'm 21, I've been on T for almost a year, shouldn't I be further along in certain ways? And I know a lot of people have a tendency to blame that on the fact that I'm on androgel, but I really don't think it would be that different had I been on injections, because I remember Adrian feeling the same way close to his 1 year on T, thinking all these other guys have more facial hair than me, or all these other guys have deeper voices. And of course, you shouldn't compare yourself to other people, but I think that that is something to do with reaching that anniversary and reflecting on things. I think it's the same as, I don't know about other people, but when I near a 1 year anniversary with a partner, thinking like, where is this going? Is this as good as other relationships? Is this as, where am I? That kind of reflection does make people think like about some of the things they're not as happy about. And some of the things they are. Of course, I'm so happy about all the changes. I just have been facing, the sort of how am I going to deal with being trans or being male in the world right now. I am being challenged in my life in two major ways this semester. I'm in a Survey of Women in Gender Studies course, which, because of registration issues and the way the department works at my campus, I am a senior in a sophomore level class that's you're supposed to take at the beginning of your minor. So when you're sophomore or freshman or whatever, it's supposed to be your first Women in Gender Studies course, but it is my last, and about half the class is made up of people like that. And so we're discussing gender issues and hearing some of the things people say can be really upsetting. And I'm also in an anthropology of gender course, which is a 200 level course. And being in the room with people who it is not my responsibility to educate at all, I am not the professor, but also feeling like hearing their comments, feeling like I do need to step in and educate them. I'm actually stealth in both classes, and stealth to those people. Like I'm out to both of the professors and I'm out to my close friends in the class, but to the majority of the people, I'm stealth. And we have at my university, it's almost all of our classes are seminar style. So they're saying things like in our small groups, I wonder what it's like to be transgender, or biology is gender, gender is completely essential and all these things, and just feeling so uncomfortable like I can't talk. And realizing that this is what life is going to be like, especially outside of the university. I'm going to come into contact with these kinds of people and not know how to deal with it at all. I've also been sort of the other challenge in my life has been sort of dealing with being an adult male and kind of trying to figure that out. And that's really been the last 6 months of my transition, sort of being like, wow, now I'm being viewed as male and being treated as male. How do I inhabit my masculinity, I guess? I was just recently at a bar with a lot of my friends, and it was just like people coming up to me and treating me like a bro that I don't even know. It's just like, all right, how do I respond to this? Because I have been far less comfortable around men in my young adult and adult life. I was friends with a lot of boys when I was a child, but there's a major difference. So, but expressing things like vulnerability in front of another man and things like that have been issues I'm dealing with, because I think that as a trans man, I don't know, like Adrian and I have kind of discussed having a little bit of a complex, like, am I masculine enough, and all these things. So, but some good things, first off, I'm going to get to move soon, because I'm moving away for grad school for sure, because we don't have a PhD program in sociology at my university. It's small. And a fresh start, things will be good, and I am almost a year on T, and that's really exciting, and that's really nice. And similarly, my girlfriend and I have been together almost exactly a year. Like next Wednesday is our 1 year anniversary, so Thursday, next Thursday. She just told me. Anyway, so things are good, but yeah. So hopefully, I will post an update fairly soon for my 1 year. But anyway, yeah, so this is 11 months on Androgel, and next time I make a video, we'll talk more about the Androgel part, because I think that's something I do want to delve into, but it's